Hi guys, and welcome back to another video. Now today what I'm going to be bringing you is a video where I rank every League 2 club's penalty taker from the 2021-22 season. Now I would have done this for 22/23, but there isn't as much data in depth for the National League clubs, so we'll have to wait until they've had a little bit longer in the Football League, back in the Football League for some teams as well, before we can actually do that. But if you do go on to enjoy today's video, a like as always would be massively appreciated. If you could try and hit 60 likes on today's video, that'd be absolutely class. Subscribe if you are new as well. We are now on the road to 6,000 subscribers, so make sure you are subscribed if you haven't already. We've gained 90 subscribers in the last 15 days. The support on the channel has been absolutely incredible, so thank you so much for that. Make sure as well to drop a comment down in the comment section down below. Who do you support? Who's your penalty taker? And what are your thoughts on your penalty taker? Are you confident when he steps up, or are you nervous? We have 5 different categories now. I've based this off of how many penalties they took throughout the 21/22 season. Apart from Port Vale, they didn't get a single penalty throughout the whole of the 21-22 season, apart from obviously their League 2 playoff semi-final game against Swindon Town. But make sure as well to check out the channel memberships as well. If you haven't already, you'll be able to check out my full thoughts on Bradford City's new home kit, as well as loads of other exclusive content, so make sure you check that out if you haven't already. But make sure you drop a like on today's video, subscribe if you are new as well, and let's get into it. So we are going to be starting out then with Barrow's Ollie Banks. In his career, he scored 7 penalties. He'd missed 2, and now he actually, I think it was yesterday or maybe the day before, he's actually terminated his contract with Barrow by mutual consent. It looks like he's going to be going to Chesterfield, so some of these players will have moved on from their club, but just from the 21/22 campaign. I just wanted to do something a little bit different for today's video, but he scored 7, missed 2. I would say overall, when Ollie Banks is stepping up, I'm fairly confident he's going to put it in, probably going to blast it and probably going to score. Andy Cook up next then for my team, Bradford City, was Lee Angle at the start of the season, scored his first penalty, then he missed, then Andy Cook became the penalty taker. He scored both of his penalties in the 21/22 season for Bradford City, scored 4 out of 9 in his career. He's actually missed more penalties than he has scored. Now, when he actually steps up for us, I always feel nervous when a Bradford City penalty taker steps up to take a penalty, because usually they go on and miss, but usually when Andy Cook steps up, I do feel fairly confident. But if you look at his whole career, he's missed more than he's scored, so for that reason, I'm going to have to put Andy Cook in the I'm nervous category. I forgot to actually mention as well, the 5 categories we've got for today's video are definitely missing. I'm nervous, 50-50, which I guess you could say every penalty is 50-50, they either score or they don't, but going in a little bit more in depth. Then we've also got I'm confident, and the final one is putting my house on him scoring. Bristol Rovers, Anthony Evans is up next. He scored 3 out of 3 penalties in the 21/22 season for Bristol Rovers. Scored 4, never missed. Now granted, it is quite a small sample size, but he scored every penalty he has ever taken. Because he has only taken 4 though, I can't put him in the top category, so for now I'm going to have to put him into that I'm confident category. Next up then is Carlisle United's Jordan Gibson. Now very similar again to Anthony Evans, Jordan Gibson has never missed a penalty. He has only taken 5, only 2 of them have been in Sky Bet League 2. 2 of them actually in the 21/22 season, one against Northampton and one against Stevenage. He scored them both, but again, it's quite a small sample size because he has never missed. I'm going to put him into that I'm confident category. Next up then is Colchester United's Freddie Sears. Scored 4 out of 4 penalties in the 21/22 season. He scored 13 throughout his whole career. He has missed 3, but he hasn't missed a penalty since the 14/15 season, and one of his penalty misses was, 12 years ago now. So for that reason, Freddie Sears, I'm definitely going to put him between the top 2 categories. He has missed a couple penalties though. For now, I'm going to put him into that I'm confident category. There's probably going to be a lot of players in that I'm confident category. I know you also can't really see Freddie Sears as well because his head's been chopped off a little bit. But next up then is Tom Nichols of Crawley Town. He scored 13 penalties, but he has also missed 6, missed 1. I think that was the only one he took, in the 21/22 season. He did score quite a few last season, did also miss quite a few last season, so he's taken quite a lot, 19 in total. Scored 13, so scores 2 in every 3 penalties. I'm going to put him in the I'm confident category, but I'm going to put him in 50-50 actually. I know he scored quite a lot, to be fair to him. Like 13 penalties is quite a lot, but 6, missing 6, that is only a 66% conversion rate. I'm going to have to put him into the 50-50. Maybe he's been a little bit hard done by there. Maybe he should be in I'm confident, but for now I'm going to put him into that 50-50 category. Next up then is Exeter City's Matt J. Scored 6, missed 3, did actually score against my team Bradford City last season. Missed both penalties that he took in the league in the season just gone by as well. Overall, he doesn't have a great penalty record whatsoever. When Matt Jay's stepping up, I'm definitely feeling nervous. Next up then is Forest Green Rovers. Jamil Matt had an absolutely fantastic season in the season just gone by for Forest Green. Scored 6 penalties, never missed. Granted, again, it is only a small sample size. Scored 3 penalties out of 3 in the last 2 seasons as well. Overall, similar to some of the other players, I'm going to put him in I'm confident just because his sample size isn't the greatest. Next up then is Harrogate Town's Jack Muldoon. Scored 8, missed 3. Did actually miss one in the National League playoffs in the 18/19 season, but he scored all 3 penalties that he took in the 21/22 campaign. And again, another player going into that I'm confident category. Next up then is Hartlepool United's Nicky Featherstone. Now again, very similar to some of the other players in this list. He's taken 6 penalties throughout his career. Scored 3 in the 20/21 campaign and also scored 3 in the 21/22 campaign. Again, another player going into that I'm confident category. We will definitely move some around towards the end of today's video. But next up then is Harry Smith of Leyton Orient. He's taken 2 penalties throughout his career. 1 in the AFL Cup, 1 in Sky Bet League 2, and he missed the 1 in Sky Bet League 2. So for that reason, I'm going to have to put Harry Miss in a definitely missing category. Not Harry Miss, Harry Smith, sorry, in the definitely missing category. He's yet to score in the league. I mean, granted, again, it's a very small sample size, but his only goal was against Cardiff, is that? In the 20/21 season in the AFL Cup. I mean, to be fair, you know, that's a fairly decent-sized club to score your only penalty against, but he's never scored in the league, so I'm going to have to put him into that definitely missing category. If you are interested in going the extra mile to support the channel, then feel free to become a member and unlock members-only videos, receive early access to videos, you can get a shout-out in every video. Also, you'll be able to access exclusive member badges and emotes, as well as other exclusive content. Prices start from as little as 99p. Thank you very much for your support. Next up then is Mansfield Town's Stephen McLaughlin. Only taken 2 penalties throughout his career at 32 years of age, but both of them were in the 21/22 season. Never missed a penalty, but for that reason, he's got a 100% conversion rate. And for now, he's going into the I'm confident category again, just because the sample size is simply too small. Next up then is Newport County's Matty Dolan. Scored 12, only missed 2, did actually miss 1 in the 21/22 campaign, and the other penalty he missed was back in 15/16. He's an absolutely fantastic penalty taker. Scored against my team, Bradford City, on a couple occasions from the spot as well. Last season, he scored 2 in both games. That game where the beat us 2-1, we played at the Cardiff Stadium behind closed doors. Oh, he scored a 90... I think they scored like a 90th minute equaliser and a 97th minute winner. It was something stupid like that. But Matty Dolan, he's one of the best penalty takers in this league. I'll put my house on him scoring 9 times out of 10. Next up then is Northampton Town's Sam Hoskin. Now again, a bit similar to Matty Dolan, very, very good penalty conversion rate. Did miss a penalty back in 12/13 for the Premier League 2 for Southampton. His only professional Premier League penalty miss was in the 20/21 campaign when Northampton Town visited away to AFC Wimbledon. Overall, he scored 10 penalties out of 12. Fantastic conversion rate, and again, very similar to Matty Dolan. I'll put my house on Sam Hoskins scoring. Something that cannot be said though for Davis Keeler-Dunn. Taken 4 penalties throughout his whole career. Scored 2, missed 1 in the past 2 seasons as well. Did score 1 though in Oldham's defeat against Salford in the 21/22 season. Overall, he's definitely in the bottom 2 categories. For now, I'm going to put him in the I'm nervous category with that 50-50 record, but it doesn't look great for Davis Keeler-Dunn. Next up then is Jake Beasley of Rochdale, taken 4 penalties throughout his whole career. Scored 3, missed 1. Again, it's a pretty small sample size, but because he has missed 1, I'm going to put him in that 50-50 category. Some players I know have scored more than others, but they've taken less, and it's kind of a bit all over the place. It's hard to judge when everyone's not taking the same amount of penalties, and it's kind of hard to get the balance in. We will definitely shorten down this I'm confident category at the end of today's video. Next up then is Ryan Watson of Salford City. Scored 4, missed 1, did actually miss 1 in the League 2 playoffs back in the 19/20 season. Also scored in the Premier League 2 for Leicester. He did actually score both the penalties he took though in the 21/22 season. Not a great sample size, but not a great conversion rate if you don't include the Premier League 2, because who the hell really cares about the second Premier League back in 13-14. Overall for Ryan Watson, I'm going to put him in 50-50. Maybe again a bit similar to Jake Beasley, potentially slightly harshly done by that. He's towards the end of today's video, and I don't want to cram in the I'm confident section, but again another one that we could move at the end of today's video. Next up then was Scunthorpe United's Miles Hippolyte. Now I know he has actually moved on to Stockport in real life. I think he actually moved on in January, but he took 3 penalties in the 21/22 season. Scored 2, missed 1. Again, not a great conversion rate for not a great sample size as well, so Miles Hippolyte, another player going into that 50-50 category. Next up then is Luke Norris of Stevenage, scored 19, missed 4. What an absolutely fantastic conversion rate for Luke Norris. Again, very, very good. I'm going to have to put him in, put my house on him scoring. I know he's missed 4 penalties, but overall to score 19, he's pretty much scores 4 in 5 penalties. So for me personally, he has to be in that top category. Next up then is Rob Milson of Sutton United. Now, he has only actually ever taken 7 penalties. All of them were actually in the 21/22 season. He scored 6, only missing 1, which was against Barrow away from home. Did actually score one at home, away from home against my team at Bradford City back in December of 2021. But overall, great conversion rate, not a great sample size again, so he's going to have to go into that I'm confident category for now. Next up then is Swindon Town's Jack Payne. Now, he's taken 11 penalties throughout his career, scored 9, missed 2. Of course, he missed 1 for my team, Bradford City, in the season that we got relegated. He has also actually scored against us quite a lot in the season just gone by. Scored a penalty against us when we beat them 3-1 at their place, and then also scored a penalty at home when we played them at our place, and they ended up winning that game because of Jack Payne's penalty. So frustrating that he couldn't score a penalty for us. He did actually in the 18-19 season, scored away at Wimbledon, but couldn't score this important one at home to Sunderland. Scored against us though in both games from the spot. Jack Payne, really good conversion rate. I think I'm going to have to put my house on him scoring. Very rarely does Jack Payne miss. Again, not the biggest sample size, but to only miss 2 in 11 penalties, I think I'm going to have to put my house on him scoring. Next up then is Kane Hemmings of Tranmere Rovers. He's taken 15 penalties throughout his career, scored 12, missed 3. Hasn't missed a penalty since 2018/19, was actually right at the start of that season as well, so hasn't missed a penalty in a very long time. Scored all 3 of the penalties he took in the 21/22 season as well. Very good penalty taker. I think I'm going to have to put my house on him scoring. Hasn't missed in years and has a very good conversion rate, so I'm going to have to put him into that top category for me. And the final player on this list for now anyway is Walsall's Connor Wilkinson. Scored all 3 penalties that he's ever taken throughout his career, and all 3 of them were in the 21/22 season. But again, because the sample size isn't absolutely massive, I'm going to put him into that I'm confident category for now. And obviously, I bet you're wondering, Sam, where's the Port Vale player? They didn't have a penalty throughout the whole 21/22 season, apart from that penalty shootout against Swindon, which they did actually win. So the best that I could find really was James Wilson, who scored 2 penalties in the UEFA Youth League in 13/14. So there's not a lot I could really go off. I couldn't really find anyone who actually scored some penalties. So Port Vale for this, I guess they're just going to have to stay unanimous. Is that the right word? The first change that I'm going to make from this list, I'm going to move Freddie Sears up into that put my house on him scoring category, because I think his conversion rate, actually scoring 13 out of 16, I think that's actually a very good conversion rate. Considering some of the other players that we've got up there, I'm going to move him up 1 category. I'm also going to move somebody down, Stephen McLaughlin. I'm looking at him because it is only a very small sample size. He's only ever taken 2 penalties throughout his whole career. Granted, he has a 100% conversion rate, but for now, I'm going to move him down into that 50-50 category just because of how small his sample size is. Same could potentially be said for Connor Wilkinson. Maybe I'm going to move him down into that 50-50 category. I don't want to change all too much, but again, he has scored all his penalties, but he has only taken 3, so I'm going to put him into 50-50. If his sample size was a lot bigger, I could potentially put him in a higher category, but because he's not really taken all too many, potentially these might have not been the necessarily penalty takers, it's just who took the most amount of penalties in the 21/22 season. I had a look at their career as a whole. That's my rankings. It's definitely going to cause some controversies, so let me know your thoughts down in the comment section down below. In the definitely missing category, I've gone with Harry Smith. In the I'm nervous category, I've gone with Andy Cook, Matt J and Davis Keeler Dunn. In the 50-50 category, I've gone with Tom Nichols, Stephen McLaughlin, Jake Beasley, I think that's Ryan Watson, Miles Hippolyte and Connor Wilkinson. In the I'm confident category, I've gone with Ollie Banks, Anthony Evans, Jordan Gibson, Jamil Matt, Jack Muldoon, Nick Featherstone, I think his name is, Nicky Featherstone is his name, Rob Milson, and then in the final category, and they put my house on him scoring. Granted, some of them have missed some penalties, but I've gone with Freddie Sears, Matty Dolan, Sam Hoskins, Luke Norris, Jack Payne, and Kane Emmons. But that is where I'm going to leave it for today's video. If you have enjoyed, a like as always will be massively appreciated. If you could try and hit 60 likes, as I said at the start of today's video, that'd be absolutely class. Subscribe if you are new as well. We are now on the road to 6,000 subscribers, so make sure you are subscribed if you haven't already, with that post notification bell, and let me know your thoughts in down the comment section down below. Who do you think the best penalty taker is in the league, and who do you think the worst penalty taker is in the league, and who do you think is going to finish with the most goals in the 22/23 season from the penalty spot? Check out the channel membership scheme as well if you haven't already. You will be, for those who are members, you'll be able to check this video out an hour before everybody else. Shout out to our current tier 2 members, Joe 006, and our tier 3 member B Davies 211. Thank you very much for your continued support, as well as all the tier 1 members as well. Thank you very much for watching today's video. Have a great rest of your day, and I shall see you all tomorrow for another one. Peace.